Friends, hello, welcome back. Hope it's having a lovely day. Today we're going to go over how to win face-offs in NHL 26. We're going to go over the way to properly time it, when you pull the stick back, the way you properly configure the sticks, how you counter certain face-offs, whether it be the stick lift, whether it be the backhand, whether it be the forehand, what it looks like to be backhand, what it looks like to be forehand, and more. Starting off with the very basics, we're going to do the forehand. And we're just going to quickly run through this. One of the wildest things, the loading screen in this game is nuts, actually, to the game. But for your forehand, it's going to look a lot like that, your easy win. We're going to bring it up in replay here. In order to go on your forehand, we're using a left-handed skater. I highly recommend following the tutorial using left-handed skaters. It is completely the opposite for right-hand. So if you're holding the stick to the left, you're going to hold it to the right. For a right-hander, you're holding it to the right. You're holding it to the left for a right-handed. It's direct opposite controls, but so for learning purposes, would highly recommend just using a lefty till you get the hang of it. Before a left-hander, forehand would be using your right stick, holding it to the 9 o'clock position. That's your grip. Your grips are going to be either holding it to the 9 o'clock position or holding it to the 3 o'clock position. 9 o'clock is forehand, 3 o'clock is backhand with your lefties. And again, flip-flop for your right-handers. Right-handers, 9 o'clock's backhand, 3 o'clock is forehand. Now it's important, first thing I do as soon as the game starts, as soon as this video started, I see the intro, I'm holding my grip. I'm not even waiting until the screen shows up. I'm holding my grip. Sometimes year in and year out, the gameplay seems to change where it's like, yeah, you gotta have your grip held ahead of time. If you wait till the end, it doesn't count. It's like it has to charge up. They put a patch like that in, they take it out, they put it in and year out. For that sake, I don't even mess with it. There's no reason just to not be prepared and have the grip held. And you're just more likely to be prepared to not accidentally, flinch, or when you do grip, you don't accidentally push up a little bit. Because if you push up, you guys are going to jump early before the puck gets there, or before the puck's dropped, you're automatically going to lose. So I like to kind of have it prepared from that nature. Very important. And so where your forehand, where your backhand, right here, what we're seeing is, again, we're setting up on a forehand. When your forehand, your right elbow is, you're in more of a wide stance. We'll explain that more here in a little bit. But before we win this face-off, two things. Number one, in order to win a face-off, when you're using forehand, you hold it to the 9 o'clock position. The second the referee drops the puck, you rotate it down to the 6 o'clock position. And in order to aim, you're going to be limited based on your face-off grips where you do aim the puck, but you do want to try to aim it at your defenseman. And it is important to, aim what sort of defensive, whether you're using defensive, aggressive, or your normal face-off formations. So use your left stick to aim at the player. So you want to aim right here. The puck's going to come from this angle, so you're going to aim pretty much down on your left stick here, or down on your left stick to the right, around probably like 5 or 4 o'clock-ish. But what you're going to want to watch for here, and this is important, I know a lot of people kind of mess this up. We're going to zoom this in a little bit. Zoom this one in a little bit. What we're going to be watching for here when you're winning the face-offs, or when to time the face-off, is you're going to look at this referee. And we'll try to take it slow here. The second you see the referee, bang, it's right there. It is literally right there. Your referee's standing, he's looking around, he's looking around, he's looking around, he's looking around. The second he starts to make that motion, that is when you make your rotation mistake. If you do it beforehand, you're going to flinch. If you flinch, you're going to lose the face-off practically automatically, unless the other guy flinches as well. If you wait too long, well, you're going to be too late. So for me, you're kind of just, again, we'll run it through slowly. You're watching, bang, 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 bang. Second, you see the whole, you just look for the referee to kind of drop his head. When he starts to drop his head, that's kind of what I look for. Pushes his body forward, drops his head. That's when you drop the motion, and that is going to win you the face-off. Well, it's going to properly do the face-off. If your opponent is holding a grip that counters it, of course, then you will not win that face-off. But let's jump to the backhand now here real quickly. So for the backhand, it is, again, the opposite. You're going to hold your right stick directly to the 9 o'clock position. I'm going to aim my left stick to the bottom left. And if you do that, you are indeed too late. Maybe I should not talk while we do this at the same time. But I want to try to do it in live motion. Hold it to the right, looking for the puck drop, looking, and we're dropping. Bang. Just like that. Hopefully that can kind of get you into the rhythm of things. I'm trying to do my best because I know it's difficult when you first start to really break it down, but I will slow it down here. So again, we're holding it to the 9 o'clock position or 3 o'clock position directly to the right. And then you're going to rotate from 3 o'clock down to 6 o'clock to win the face off here. And in this case, I'm aiming the left stick to the bottom left. to the right defenseman. And you are also able to kind of win when you're in this grip. You can win it to your left winger. Can't win it to your right winger, not physically possible where you're aiming. But if you want to aim to your left winger, try to have him come in and win it, you would just rotate like normal with your 3 to 6. But then you'd aim the left stick directly to the left in the 9 o'clock position. So let's talk a little forehand stick lift. For the forehand stick lift, we're going to go back to the forehand grip. So you're going to take the right stick, push it directly to the 9 o'clock position. But instead of rotating it down, you're going to rotate it directly up to the 12 o'clock position like so. And that's gonna, again, this one you don't really have to aim. You can aim it if you want. It doesn't make too big of an impact, not on your forehand. At least you can kind of aim it towards a winger. You can definitely aim it towards a winger on your backhand more than your forehand. I find it more successful. I personally just don't like this one in general. I try to avoid this. It's kind of like a last resort face-off if you just feel like you can't counter your opponent and they're just not expecting, because it's not a very common face-off win. The reason being because it's so slow. It's so slow when you're playing, especially in the offensive zone. You win it to a defenseman. You're suiciding your defenseman because it's taking so long to get there. Their winger's going to be there. You're going to have a hard time shooting, passing, and it's just a breakaway waiting to happen. So I do try to avoid it. At the same time, though, you know, at center ice like this, you can kind of get away with a little bit more, and maybe you mix it up a little bit. You're having a hard time beating them. The opposite of the forehand stick lift then would be the backhand stick lift. I do love the backhand stick lift. I love the way it counters. We'll go over counters here in a second, but I think it counters a lot. So we're going to take the stick, hold it directly to the 3 o'clock position, and then rotate it straight up to the 12 o'clock position like so to win said face-off. Again, pretty easy once you get, I wouldn't say, I guess it is easy. Once you get kind of used to it, it's pretty easy. Same story as per the usual. Hold it to the 3 o'clock position. That's your grip. Rotate it up to the 12 o'clock. If you want to win it again to your winger, you're going to hold the left stick directly to the left. You're aiming directly. Just use the way I like to think of your left stick as the compass, the aim, you know, just like passing. It's your directional stick. Whatever way you would pass the puck, that's the way you would aim the face off here. If you're trying to pass it to the guy at the left D, you aim for the guy at the left D. You're going to figure out, you know, through trial and error who you can actually aim the face off to and who you can't. Typically, you know, you can aim it towards a winger and a defenseman on one side a lot easier than on the other side. So that leaves us with, last but not least, well, actually, we got 2 left, technically, if we want to include the walk. The walk's something that's just, it's just never going to, it's not going to happen. Unless the other guy's not got their controller picked up or you're playing on rookie like this, it's not going to happen. But simply put, you don't have a grip. You just hold LB and RB. Some people call it the Deke Faceoff. Some people just call it you walk him. I call it walk him. But you just hold LB, RB, and when the referee's about to drop the puck, then you just push up on the left and right stick, and you will proceed to walk him. Again, I hold the buttons down there. It is kind of important to make sure you do hold LB and RB. Something is, again, kind of I'm just having fun, see what can happen kind of Deke. I wouldn't focus too much on it until you master the rest. Last but not least, though, is the tie-up. You have the forehand tie-up, the backhand tie-up. Again, forehand, you just hold forehand grip, and you push directly up on the left stick. You do nothing else but push directly up on the left stick. You don't have to rotate the right stick. You don't have to aim the right stick. You just hold your grip. Forehand, 9 o'clock, you hold it there, and then you push directly up on the stick when a referee drops the puck. And when you're on your backhand, you would hold it at the 3 o'clock position, and then again just push directly up on the left stick, and they will come in like so. So now let's talk counters. I'll bring up an entire chart of the counters for you guys. Typically, I always recommend enter a face-off on your backhand. The odds say enter the face-off on your backhand, you're going to win more face-offs, because when you hold forehand grip, the basic forehand loses 3 of 4 things. So it's not the greatest of face-offs. And again, it kind of pushes your hand in that nature because the backhand has more odds of winning. So you'll see everybody hold backhand in the game. That is the way you want to do it. And then it just comes down to one of 2 things: knowing what your opponent's doing and understanding what they're holding. And so holding it backhand, and then you're just going to win a face-off based on how your opponent is holding. So he is going forehand, so I'm going backhand. Stick lift beats it just about every time. That's your favorable matchup there. And now here's how we're going to break down how you know exactly what your opponent's going. So in this case, you look at what the your opponent's doing. His arm is, you look at the angle. Look at the elbow, right angle, straight out and then down. When you see it straight out and down, that's forehand. You can kind of look at my players, and you see how his elbow and his hands extended further down the stick. That's how you know it is backhand. See if we can get the computer real quickly to actually do that for us. But anytime you see that, instantly go for the stick lift on backhand, because that's your favorable matchup. If he does happen to go the other direction, or if he does happen to do something that beats your stick lifts, you might have to mix up next time. Just go straight backhand. Let's see if we can get the computer here real quickly to give us a forehand grip or backhand. There's a backhand grip. Perfect. So I typically like to counter on the backhand. Now you can do a multitude of things here because they are on their backhand. Here's a better example so you can kind of see how the angle. You see the arm angle is different. It sticks out further now. It's not straight down. It's angled out a little bit wider. So typically when somebody's going backhand, their first thing is going to be, let's do the basic backhand win. So the counter to the basic backhand win is the tie up. Otherwise, the basic backhand beats stick lift, and it's a 50-50 draw between you and the other if you want to do basic backhand. If you want to do basic backhand the entire game, hey, go ahead. I mean, if they ain't going to mix it up, you don't have to mix it up. You don't have to stress about the face-offs, don't stress about the face-offs. You want to nerd out about it. And I love nerding out about the face-offs. I start with the tie up, mix it up. Sometimes I'll tie him up 2 times in a row. If he keeps doing it, and the third time I go straight back, because by the time you tie him up 2 times in a row, it's like, oh, this guy's just going to tie up every time, and you went straight back, and you kind of get in their head early. You can kind of do a mix and match in that kind of way. But in this case, again, the counter here would be the tie up, or you can go straight back. If you start to see them stick lifting on backhand, and you want to win it straight back as well. Again, kind of use the chart we provided as an example of what counters everything. And hopefully this was a video you guys found helpful, you found informative. As always, if you did, I'd appreciate you liking, subscribing. You never have to. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.